It's up to you, New York, New York.
How we doing, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast here on Facebook and YouTube. I am your host, Richie, here with my guy, Mr. Idris Salam, a.k.a. Bosco from the Bronx.
And I was singing a song just the other day about the New York winning in Philly 4-0.
And
Big
we
Orange and
see
Blue
some
Monday, baby.
crying eyes, and we see some crying eyes, orange and blue skies. Okay,
We need to put a song
how
together,
about?
man. We,
Yeah,
we gotta get
sorry
we gotta get
for.
in the studio after the show, man.
I apologize for both of us. We do sports, not singing. That's a
Yeah.
hell of a producer on the other side, though. How about
Hey.
the New York Knicks, Idris Salam?
Hell yeah. Look here, man. As we spoke off air, this New York Knicks team is looking like something I haven't seen in a while. We look like we don't care. We look like we know what we're here for. And I love it. We're putting our teams away. We're not getting leads and giving them up. Once we get out there, it's a wrap. That's how it should be supposed to be. Go Knicks, baby.
Yeah, what really stood out to me in this series on the whole
Mhm.
is that Philly shot their proverbial load in the first series.
Yeah.
Joel Embiid came back. And listen, I'm the furthest thing from a fan of his, but I
Mhm.
am in understanding of what an athlete has to go through to get back. And,
Yeah.
listen, his mobility was shot. He had the appendectomy, 2.5 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. He had
Yeah.
the hip situation.
Hmm.
He was vital in them defeating the Celtics. I know
Yeah.
Celtic fans are probably like, man, he came back just to screw up our season. But when I
Basically.
look at what the New York Knicks were able to do,
Yeah.
it was with relative ease. And I'm not ignorant to the point that I think that the next round is going to be as easy, whether it's Cleveland or Detroit.
Right.
But yesterday's game, tying rather, an NBA playoff 3-point record, one
Hmm.
short in the first quarter for
Yeah.
setting a record there for most threes. It was absurd.
Yeah.
Offense has been coming so easy to this Knicks team pretty much since
Yeah.
game 3 of the Atlanta series.
Right.
What I'm enjoying about this Knicks run is that they're showing a different level of toughness on the road.
Right.
And
Dude,
I
we are
mean,
putting pounding. We're
I
pounding
mean,
them
do
on the
you
road.
remember a time in NBA history, maybe with the exception of the Jordan era, where the Bulls were like a traveling show,
Yeah.
where I saw two closeout games on two teams' home floors where the place sounded like a mini Madison Square Garden?
Not only that, bro. If you could take it back to the game before that, each one, like the game 5 against Atlanta, we put it on them. And then game 6, we came out and just ran them out the gym. The same with this. We put them on them in game 3. Then game 4, we ran them out the gym. We ran them out. It was over the first quarter.
What
And
what has
yeah,
yeah. Keep going, keep going. You're good.
yeah. And see, instead of, I like what I see because we had always had a propensity to getting ahead and giving up a lead. Now, when we get up ahead, when we get up by 10 points, that's it. We're closing the door. And that's what you got to do with teams like in the next round. It'll be tougher. It will, no doubt. And I'm not going to sit there and just look at it like we're gonna blow everybody out because we're not. But the way we have picked up this game since OG gotten hurt is insane. We
Yeah,
look better without
yeah.
OG, but we need OG. I'm gonna get that out there. We need OG, but we look
Oh, yeah.
real good without him. But we need. I want Knicks fans to know. I am not saying we don't need OG. I'm saying we look real great without him, but we need OG.
Well, it
Get that
presents
out
a
there.
grander opportunity for other guys in that rotation, whether it's Jose Alvarado, whether it's Deuce McBride, whether
Shamet,
it's Shamet.
yeah,
Yes. But Deuce McBride, in my opinion, the player of yesterday's game, as he was 7 for 9 from downtown.
in the first
And
half.
yeah, it was absurd. And I mean, when you're approaching the end of the third quarter and all your starters leave the game, it almost looked like a hockey line shift.
It's funny. Before that, um, it looked like it looked like the All Star game on our behalf. It's like we were just getting just open threes, open layups. It's like, and I don't want to say Philly quit because I don't like to say a team quit. But watching them on the court, and I'm not saying they quit, but watching them on the court, it's like they quit. Joel Embiid plops 8 for 8 from the field, missed one foul shot. He was 3 for 3 on threes. Joel Embiid played his game, his mobility, his shot. I think what he should do, if not retire, he should work on just being a low post guy, where he's not running around. Make the
Yeah,
shot post guy.
yeah, and you could tell that his mobility and even his form wasn't right because
Yeah.
usually a pretty reliable big man from beyond three, his
Yes.
his shot or even inside the perimeter, his shot was so flat.
It is. It's a line. It's a
It,
line drive almost.
yeah, I thought it was Mitch shooting threes for a little while, but Paul George, he couldn't hit a swimming pool, and then you got Tyrese Maxey, who I actually have a lot of respect for, as well as
I like
Hedgecomb,
Maxi.
because
I like Maxi this
after
phone. Yeah.
after the series, the accountability from these two young players, and I'll be honest, I
Yeah.
understand what Embiid was getting at in his post-game presser, post-series presser,
Yeah.
where he was like talking about how he doesn't see it as a failure, given that he wasn't sure if his career was going to have to be a wrap. But
Yeah.
with all due respect, Joel Embiid, not poking fun at your long list of injuries, but if you think a success is coming back and not being able to play defense, not being able to play both sides of the floor, not being
Right.
able to finish in the paint, I understand that it's not the typical season for him, and he has a plan to stay healthy. So I guess whenever somebody says that and they, are very adamant about how they're going to stay healthy, all
Yeah.
I could really do is say, well, let's see if he could show it to the basketball fans. So I guess going into next year, this is a team that has to feel good about themselves. They did knock off a Celtic team that is always a championship contender.
Yeah.
They did finish third in the Atlantic Division. They competed. They beat
Yeah.
Orlando in a play-in game to up themselves into a better position. Orlando ultimately loses to Detroit.
Yeah.
But when I think about the Philadelphia 76ers, there's like so much I want to say as I give them their send-off. Number one, it has never been more evident, in my opinion, of how much the city of Philadelphia is a Phillies and Eagles and Flyers town
Yep.
before it is a 76ers town. You got to go
Yep.
back to
Oh
the
man.
era where Allen Iverson
Hmm.
literally brought hip hop to basketball when he was the answer in his peak.
Yep.
He was changing the culture of the game, and he was also winning an MVP award and just being a phenomenal player.
Yep.
But Philadelphia has not, the Sixers have not had Philadelphia in the palm of their hands and been the heartbeat of that city since Allen Iverson was at his peak. Now, the Philadelphia Flyers getting their brains beaten by the Hurricanes.
They got swept.
They are a Philadelphia priority. The Phillies,
Yeah, they go back to
they're
Linzo.
Philadelphia priority. And I'll be honest with you, given the recent success, the
Hmm.
Eagles run that city. And I'm going to call out
Yeah.
some of these Philadelphia podcasters,
Yes.
so,
Yes.
guys, to dilute what the New York Knicks fans did in your court, in your home city, in your basketball arena, to dilute that is a bitch move, and I'm going to tell you why. Clip this. That would never, and I mean ever, never, ever, ever happen in Madison Square Garden. Last time the Knicks were getting blown out, Game 7, Indiana 2 years ago, you know what the Knicks fans did? They got on their feet and they gave their team a proper send-off, showing appreciation for a Knicks team that was burned down at the end of the season but showed a lot of heart, a good momentum to carry them into the next year. That would never happen in Madison Square Garden. And the only time, if we're really being honest, that there was a real infiltration in Madison Square Garden when the Knicks were good, you got to go back to the Jordan era, because the Jordan brand, Michael Jordan being possibly the most famous person on the earth, not just athlete during that time. He was in that
Hmm.
Michael Jackson kind of
Yeah.
range,
Yeah.
a John Lennon kind of range.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? So in that regard, yeah, the Bulls were a traveling show, and they were different.
Yeah.
They were different. LeBron at his peak still doesn't hit the same.
Hmm.
Possibly Shaq and Kobe, but still doesn't hit the same. When it was Jordan's Bulls,
Yeah.
that's the only time I can honestly say, and Eddie would vouch for this,
Yeah.
being in the building for the 55-point double nickel game,
Yeah.
where he said, my God, there were so many Bulls fans there, but we still held our own with our voices. And it's a bitch way to leave out, because Giant fans don't make any excuses or any delusions, I should say, about Eagles fans taking over MetLife Stadium over the past few years when the Giants were not good.
Right. You know
Man up
something?
or shut up. But I don't want
I,
to hear you dilute, oh, why would we show up? Da 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 da. I don't know, because you love your team?
right. Look,
Enough.
I'm going to expand onto that. And I'm calling out the podcasters, I'm calling out the news, and I'm calling out the fans. You know what? We have our long-standing hatred towards Philly because they're our turnpike rivals, of course. But for you guys to say that New York fans are the most unclassy fans, you guys bombed Santa Claus with freaking snowballs. You laughed at Michael Irvin when he got hurt. You laughed at Victor Cruz when he got hurt. You need to go on, Philadelphia. You guys are not the nicest fans. You got the worst reputation when it comes to respect. Dallas got the worst reputation in terms of delusion. You guys got some of the worst reputation among respect. And you newscasters, you podcasters, doing all this yapping, da 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 da. And I understand it's rivalry, but you know what? I'm the last person to complain or cry. I hate cancel culture. I'm like, suck it up, cupcake. But Philadelphia media, whether it's podcasts or the mainstream or whatever, you guys are straight up bitches. Pardon my French. Y'all are acting like your team got swept 4-0 and got your ass handed to you 3 to 4 games. 2 games we took over your stadium, your arena, and told your fans goodbye. We don't want to hear y'all crying. Y'all need
And
to get on your fans for
yeah,
not showing up. The
and
fans didn't show up. Yeah,
I've seen the better kind of Eagle fans. Shouts out Johnny Ness. Shouts out
yeah,
Joe Gallagher. Shouts
yeah,
out Daniel Nunez.
yeah,
And I've even seen people that I don't know that maybe ran into our channel, or just
yeah,
people that I noticed on socials, that were taking it like champs, being like,
Yeah,
Go win it. Go rep the Atlantic Division the right way. And I salute those fans.
I
I
salute them
do.
too. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But
Oh
this
yeah.
is my thing. When I look at these young guys like Hedgecombe, I look at
Yeah.
Tyrese Maxey being
Maxie.
so young and so much accountability, calling themselves
Yes.
out about how they got to be better.
Yes. Yes.
Um, I respect that. I really do because I remember
Yeah.
it's the other side of it where Dante DiVincenzo no longer a Nick, Josh Hart,
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson talking to the media. And I respect that because they've never shied away. And one thing about this Knicks team that shows me
Hmm.
a different kind of toughness is when they have a bad loss, a loss that they let get away, a loss that you just want to pull your hair out over, they don't
Yeah.
panic. And they
Nope.
have proven through 2 rounds of these playoffs that they will not be broken off of a bad performance.
Nope.
And I've been a Knicks fan since '92, Idris, and I'm going to be honest with you.
Hmm.
I have not seen a Knick bench deeper and have
Mm-mm.
more answers. I would have to go back as far as the latter '90s. I'm talking about that particular team that lost to the Heat. I believe the season was
Yeah.
'97, if my memory
97.
serves me right.
97. Yep.
When we had John Starks, sixth man of the year. You had Buck Williams backing up LJ. You
Yep.
had Chris Childs actually backing up Charlie Ward
Charlie Ward.
because I
Yep.
believe Charlie Ward, even though Childs was the man making the money, Ward was getting the better playing time.
Yeah.
Point to
Yep.
be made is that particular Knick team was deep. Oakley, not Mason, Oakley and LJ. LJ came
Yeah.
over in the Mason deal.
Yeah.
That particular Knick team was always one of those what if Knick teams that I actually feel had enough answers for that great Bulls team, or it could have been a great series because you had Allen Houston, who basically knocked John Starks out of the starting lineup, but John
Yeah.
Starks took the opportunity to be the main cog on the bench, and he won the sixth man of the year.
Right.
So, when I look at this particular Knick team, you bring in Jose Alvarado as a deadline deal. Huck Porty has gotten
Yeah.
more burn in part because of the fact that the Knicks have been winning, also in part because Towns and Mitch have had a propensity for getting into early foul trouble.
Yeah.
And a telltale of a really good basketball team is when your starters are not out there for whatever reason, whether it's foul trouble, whether it's an injury, whether it's the fact that they need a blow. And
Yeah.
Mike Brown is deploying his second unit and mixing and matching different pieces. Some nights Deuce might get more minutes. Some nights Alvarado might get more minutes, or
Right.
Shamit.
Right.
But what I'm seeing is these guys are really the biggest fans of one another.
Yeah.
When you see the Knicks bench, and I mean the deep bench,
Yeah.
coming on to the, for a timeout, and you see your starters all standing up,
Yeah.
invested in the game still, it speaks volumes about the tight ship and the great relationship in that building between Mike Brown, Rick Brunson, who really, really, I don't think people understand
Right.
how vital Rick Brunson and Maurice Cheeks, former 76er great, have been
Yep.
for this Knicks coaching staff. They helped Mike Brown a lot.
And you know something? And this is why when we hired Mike Brown, and shout out to Rick Brunson, because he played for us during them years that we should have won something. And I saw where him and Jalen got into it on the court, and he was saying that how Jalen told him to shut the F up, da da da. But he's saying that's how they are. He said on the court, they are coach and player.
That's
But
how it
I
has to be.
yes, and I like Mike Brown when we hired him, and we both said good hire because he brings that Golden State way. And people forget this is the same guy who coached young LeBron to the title. Well,
Yes,
to the
he
to
did.
the
To the
finals.
finals before they ran into the Popovich monster.
Right. So when he got hired, I knew he would bring that thing like, look, we are together. And look at it, dude. We've played our full squad 4 games out of 6 out of the last 6 games. Everyone has played, everyone has scored last night. I think everybody got at least 6 points. That's insane. The whole
Indeed.
the whole squad. So
Indeed. Indeed.
Mike Brown, props to him. I think he go Knicks, man. That's all I can say.
Last
Go Knicks.
closing thought on this before we move it along to a couple of
Yeah.
other New York related sports topics.
And shout out to our fans too. We got to say our Knicks fans.
Absolutely.
Shout out to our fans,
Listen,
y'all.
I
Yeah.
might be a little biased saying this, but we got the best fans in the world.
Do we? If y'all think yes, we are rabid. We are rabid fans. We act a fool. We act, but look, that goes to show the type of fans we are. We on the shout out New York. I love you. You will always be my family, no matter where I move.
Best
It's
fans
all
in
you,
the
bro.
world. That Let's Go Knicks
Yeah.
chant is prevalent. It was if it's LA and LA
Yep.
has a strong base. Cleveland, pick your city. Knick
You
fans
know,
travel well.
but you know who said we had the best fan base? KG.
Yes, he did.
KG. He said no matter where you go, he said, God, look, everywhere you go, there's New York fans, and they're crazy.
It's not yeah, Madison Square Garden is a very famous arena,
Yeah.
but it's the people that put their asses in those seats that make it
Right.
special.
New York is
Make
a
no
crazy. We're
mistake
different.
about it. Make no
We are
mistake
different.
about it. But I got a closing thought on this and a full
Yeah.
circle moment. Mike Breen brought it to everyone's attention towards the
One of
end
the
of the
best
game.
broadcasters of all time. Basketball, Mike Green. I love
And
Mike Green.
yeah, I love Mike Breen too. He's always there when you need him, so to speak. But
Yeah.
I got to say this.
Bang! Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, Rick Brunson, put the picture, a very young Jalen Brunson crying with his father, Rick Brunson, when the reality came in. And it's a full circle moment because he was in Philadelphia at the
Yeah.
time, getting cut from the team. He didn't make the team. And
Yep.
he realized that that was the end of his playing career.
Yep.
What did he do with that energy? Thinking that maybe he wasn't done yet. From
Hmm.
that day forward, he pushed and pushed hard on young Jalen Brunson to be the best
Yep.
he could be
Yeah.
and to be a better player than Rick ever could be on his best day.
Yeah.
And he produced, in my opinion, the best point guard in the Eastern Conference. He produced, in my opinion, possibly the greatest New York Knick ever in time. That will be
He
revealed because you
before you
gotta
before
consider
you
Willis Reed, Patrick Ewing, and of course Walt Clyde Frazier. Shouts out
before
to
you
Earl Monroe as well.
before you finish that, I saw a stat today. Jalen Brunson has more playoff wins than any Nick of any Nick ever.
It's absurd. And then
That's insane.
when you look at the other part of it,
Yeah.
when the full circle moment, for this to happen in Philadelphia, the second home of the Nova Cats,
Yeah.
you see the banners up top. You got Mo Cheeks, a former Sixer great. He's
Right.
retired over there.
Yep.
But for Rick Brunson, as an assistant to Mike Brown, formerly an assistant to Tom Thibodeau, Mike Brown retained Rick Brunson
Good
because
move.
he saw the value in him. Mike Brown wasn't trying to recreate the wheel. He was trying to enhance the wheel.
Yep.
And
Before we close this segment, I need to call out a few people. Um, Stephen A. Smith, Dan Patrick, Brian Windhorst, Nick Wright, Chris Webber. There's a bunch of people in the media who said the Knicks wasted money signing Jalen Brunson. He will never get us anywhere. I still have the video of all of them. And you all will see it on the Ricky and Junior Sports Podcast in a few days. All these guys said Jalen Brunson would not lead the Knicks to an Eastern Conference final. We've done that. So that's all. I had to.
no,
I had to call him out.
when I think about his height and I think about his impact and I think about,
Yes.
playing in the East Coast, the
Yeah.
Northeast particularly, I haven't seen a player of his stature, meaning his height, things of that nature, make this kind of honest impact since a young Allen Iverson.
Right. Tough guy.
And they're not the same player by any means.
No.
They're completely different on.
Right.
They have certain traits that liken each other. AI was more explosive. Both of them have great handles, no question
Yeah.
about it. One's a lefty, one's a righty.
Right.
But there are certain parts of their game that do remind you. And the point is, they're undersized in a big person's league, and they
Yeah.
got big hearts. Both of them, respectively.
Yeah.
The retired Hall of Famer Allen Iverson, who people lose sight of as one of the most humble athletes you'll ever run into.
Yeah.
And,
Tough. Tough as
you
nails
know,
too.
yeah, tough as nails indeed. He had all the Shaq's respect. He kept going at the rack. He's solely the reason why the Los Angeles Lakers were not the perfect championship team that year. Winning Game
Right.
One, the iconic step over of Ty Lue, and just in a different zone. Talking trash in a competitive fashion with the late great Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
But just a phenomenal player, and Jalen Brunson is starting to climb that ladder. And Dallas never truly realized what they had, and Dallas's trash is New York's treasure. We're going to
Yes,
move it
sir.
along
Yes, sir.
to the New York Yankees. Mr. Salam, the Yankees desperately need to halt the slump, but it's a weird slump because these were very competitive games in Milwaukee. Last year, the Yankees, to open the season, swept
Mhm.
the Brewers in dominant fashion. This was more of one bad pitch, one bad throw, a couple of at bats where you couldn't get a runner over, but still the Yankees upholding really good pitching. And it's encouraging to see that Carlos Rodon, his velocity was up. He pitched respectively. Of course, his location has to improve, and that will
Yeah.
as he shakes off the rust. Five
Yeah.
walks.
Yeah.
Definitely, you got to improve on that. But they didn't come back to bite him. It was the pen. David Bednar, I got a lot of respect for this guy. As Corey Rain calls him a bulldog. Hey, he gave up a home run to a really good baseball player in Bryce Terang. It happens.
Yeah.
But the Yankees missed a lot of opportunities. And I'll be honest with you, the gentleman pictured in your avatar, they honored
Mhm.
him grandly,
Yeah.
culminating in a 4-game sweep recently against these Orioles that they're going to play today. Pete Alonso was finding his swing against the Yanks in a losing effort. I view this as a get-right series. And, the narratives are starting to grow. The Yankees are only 1-8 against teams over 500. I've given my opinions on that. It's hard to
Yeah.
play teams that are over 500 when you're only one of the three and you win a
Yeah.
lot of games. The American League will even out as time moves along, um, but the pitching is there. And that's the thing I
Yeah.
look at more than even when we go into our little cold slumps in the hitting category. But I personally think that the Brewers are a damn good team. I want to shout out John Olson.
Oh yeah.
Want to shout him out. You should be proud. You guys won, swept the series against a really hot team
Yeah.
that is now cooled and now has to, reconfigure uh, a winning streak. So shouts out to the Brewers and their fans. Brewers, damn good team. And people are losing sight of the fact that this team was in the National League Championship Series just a year ago.
And I got a little love for a Brew Crew. I really want to
Shouts
see them
out
win
Bob
one.
Euchre, late great Bob Euchre. Shouts
Yes,
out Bob
sir. That's
Euchre.
who. That's who made me like the Brewers. I like to see them win something. I think that's a great franchise, great history. Bob Uecker, yeah. I mean, they had
Yeah, I
CC,
got
but
no
we got
badge
them.
for the Brewers. When people ask me, who are you? Obviously, I'm a diehard Yankee fan, but who are
Oh
you
yeah,
like a sympathizer of when we talk about around the league? In the National League, as long as it doesn't negatively affect the Yankees,
right,
I have a propensity for pulling for the Cubs and the Brewers. Oddly enough, they play in the same division.
right.
I got respect for the Brewers, and I'm old enough to remember when they played in the American League East. Now, as far as
Same
the
here.
American League goes, I
Yeah,
don't really have too many soft spots for too many teams.
nah,
So I'll just
nah.
say that I have a great deal of respect, a great deal of respect
Hmm.
for the Tampa Bay Rays, the team that we're currently a game behind,
Yeah,
because of the fact that they do it year in and year out with limited pockets, limited affordability to bring in top tier big names, but they are always competitive and a team that plays the game the right way. I give Kevin Cash all the kudos. He's a multiple time manager of the year and with good reason. And
yeah,
I don't think this is going to be the kind of season where, Tampa will fizzle out at some point. I think they're here for the long haul. And I think this is going to be a summer of the Yankees and Rays really fighting it out for that American League East Division title.
yeah. I share the same sentiments. I don't really. I'm more Brewers and Pirates. I like to see the Pirates because I was a Dave Parker
I don't
fan.
really have any bad for the Pirates. I would have to be from the '60s to talk about Bill Mazeroski if I'm going to hate
Yeah,
that. But I don't really have no bad for the Pirates. And of course, being of Puerto Rican descent,
yeah.
I have
Roberto
Roberto
Clemente.
Clemente,
Yeah.
somebody that I'm just proud of. And
You know
this is
what made
before
me?
my time, but I'm proud of who Roberto Clemente was.
What made me? I like to see because I came up during the We Are Family days. Dave Parker and all of them. Pop
That was
and
a hell of a time to see that a team like that.
right. And see, Dave Parker, me and him we shared the same birthday. So I like that. So, I always tell people had I not been a Yankee fan, I probably would have been a Pirates fan because of Dave Parker and of course Roberto Clemente also. So, yeah, it's the Brewers and Pittsburgh in the AL. Nah, no nobody. But I got the mad respect. Same with you like for Tampa.
And I've
Um,
got respect for like the St. Louis Cardinals
yeah,
organization because
yeah,
in
yeah,
large part because they have such a knowledgeable fan base that as a
yes.
visitor, if you make a phenomenal play, you're gonna get some cheers from Cardinal fans just appreciating the art of baseball.
And they're behind
So
us those are the
yes.
ones closest behind us in World Series.
Yeah, I
So,
respect the
yeah,
Cardinals.
yeah,
Um, I respect the San Francisco Giants in large part
yeah.
because my grandfather, many, many, many years ago, had a phenomenal experience as a minor league player with
I
Willie
respect them
Mays in
too.
his ear. That's like a once in a lifetime, because I think the world of Willie Mays.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, I have respect for certain organizations, but if I'm like a sympathizer with anyone, it would be the two teams I mentioned in the NL, the the
Same
the
here.
Brewers and the Cubs. And
Same
in
here.
the NL, there's no sympathy. In the AL, rather, no sympathy. But I do have a
Nah.
great respect for the Tampa Bay Rays.
Yeah, I mean, for a guy, I mean, golly, for a team who basically spends the minimum, doesn't really go after any big free agents, and they stay competitive. That goes to management. You gotta have a
Oh,
good
no
manager to do
doubt,
this.
no doubt. I mean, if you're
Yeah,
looking at their history, they paid Evan Longoria well.
yeah.
They paid Wade Boggs decently as an aging player to be like,
I forgot about
give
Wade
some
Boggs. Yeah, yeah,
credibility to a brand new team.
yep.
As he hit the first home run in Tampa Bay Rays history, which is kind of funny
That's
because
kind of wild.
Boggs wasn't a home run hitter; he was
They
a
wasn't a
hitting
whole hitter.
average.
No, he put you on
But
base though.
he's the original. He's the original home run hitter for the Rays. He hit the very first
Yeah,
one. Now,
yeah,
most recently, David Price. He was a tough guy to keep
yeah.
in his
Yeah, he was
heyday.
tough. He was tough to hit. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my
good
God.
player. He
Yeah,
gave up Jeter's 3,000th hit,
yeah. But he was
but
tough to hit though.
no, for sure, for sure. And then most recently, they gave the money to Wander Franco, and that turned out to be a real
Oh,
nightmare.
that was a disaster, dude.
Yeah,
They threw that money away. They threw
and
that money
phenomenal,
away.
phenomenal baseball player. But I'm just gonna call it as I see it. A
He
real
just wasn't it,
shitbag
man.
of a human being, and I don't have any
Yeah.
regrets about saying that.
Uh-uh.
Um,
Wasn't
Back
worth
to
it.
the Yankees. Ryan McMahon, I noticed Idris. He's starting to pick up the slack on his average a little.
Yeah.
Getting a little more confidence, taking some high leverage at bats and succeeding. Ben Rice is in a bit of a slump. Can't
Yeah.
really
He'll
say I'm
come out of it.
surprised about that because he's coming off that hand injury.
Injury. Yeah. The injury. So
Paul Goldschmidt in limited duty,
the old man.
being effective. Yeah, being effective. And
And
depends,
I
depend. I'm worried about Camilo Duvall, but I'm happy because with the reemergence of Carlos Rodon, now Ryan Weathers
Rodon.
gets the ball today as a starter.
Yes.
I think a long-term solution for a fixed in-house for the season.
Hmm.
Once Cole comes back, I think Weathers finds himself in the pen, high leverage situations because he has a lot of swing and miss.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And like I said, I wasn't taking anything from this series. Uh, like me and you spoke offline. Um, you win them and you lose them. And we've been having some good streaks. We've been going 8 wins, 7 wins. We've been putting up points. Pitch has been pretty damn good. Not great, but pretty damn good. Of course, my boy, I, I, I I'm not taking anything from. I think us going against the Orioles or whatever. I think that's a good regroup. Um, yeah, I'm not really taking anything away. My boy
Yeah,
Schlittler.
baseball's kind of a contagious kind of sport because it
Yeah,
seems like when the pitching is right, it's right. But
yeah,
sometimes when the hitting goes cold, it's also contagious. I mean, I've seen this team bust out and have some really big innings, and it's a credit to the Brewers pitching. But I want to make clear that the Yankees pitching showed up for the most part in this series. I mean, the pen
yeah.
Duvall right now is not the healthiest bridge to Bednar. Can it improve?
Right.
I hope so, because he
I
had some
hope
good
so.
seasons in San Francisco as a closer, but he
Hmm.
has not flourished to his full potential in a Yankee uniform. Tim Hill, that was a boneheaded throw. It happens, but I think he's been pretty solid this year.
Well, you know me. I'm a Cam Schlittler fan, so
Yeah, Baby
that's
Cole
that's
has
that's
been the
my
best
boy
pitcher.
there. That's my boy right there.
Max Fried had a rough game, but
Yeah,
he's a premier pitcher. He'll bounce
yeah,
back. And
yeah. Oh
also
yeah,
a Gold Glove talent. You know,
yeah.
that guy's racking up Gold Gloves, similarly to one of the best Gold Glove pitchers, of course, another Brave, Greg Maddux. So
Maddox,
let's
the
see how the
professor.
Yankees. I'm not going to hit the alarm button. Let's see
Nah,
if we can
nah.
get right against a team in our division that we're supposed to handle yet again.
Yeah, I'm not worried. Um, like I said, we just came off with 8 game winning streak. Before that, we had a 7 to 8 game. We had these hiccups. Good team. I mean, good pitching. Milwaukee playing in the boot. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. Let's see
No.
what happens. I'm not worried about it. Cam Schlittler, baby. I'm a Goldie fan. That's
Yeah, Goldie is the
yeah,
right mentor, and he's a
yeah,
guy that's such a professional that there's no ego attached to him. He is a fringe Hall of Famer.
yeah. I
And
like
I hope
Goldie.
he gets in because he's definitely a Hall of Fame human. So I'd like to see the
He's
man get in. We'll see how it plays out. But
he's
you
a
talk about
hitter,
a former league MVP. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
right?
phenomenal
Good
glove.
glover.
It,
Got a
it's
glove.
the it's the twilight of his career, but
Yeah,
he's been doing the best he could do with limited at bats because Rice was so damn hot you couldn't justify taking
yeah.
him out of the lineup. Now
No, you can't.
he's
He's
in a
younger.
slump. He
Rice,
got
Rice
dinged
is a
up.
younger guy too. I mean, you got a younger guy. So I mean, I'm pretty sure Goldie understood it.
Well, yeah, I
He's
mean,
at
he
that
came
point of his
back,
career.
He
Yeah,
willingly came back, which means that he's comfortable with the role. And baseball has a way during the course of the season for your role being enhanced because it's a long season and
yeah.
guys always are put in positions to contribute that belong on the team. And Goldie will have his moments. I'm going to move it along
Yep.
to the NFL schedule release is coming up on Thursday, but we got a leak. Shouts out Mike Zappi for giving to me this first.
Yeah.
Giants versus Cowboys is a primetime week one leak. And speaking of leak, I think Malik Neighbors will be ready for this game. There is going to be a lot of buzz around this primetime matchup. And I'm excited, Idris,
Me
because
too.
it's a new regime.
Yeah.
Coach Harbaugh has really been making some responsible decisions,
Yeah.
getting this roster in order, and there's still some flirtation with bringing back Giants fan favorite Odell Beckham Jr. We're going to find out if that comes to fruition. But the fact that Harbaugh keeps verbally inside the media, keeping the door open, leads me to believe that there is a little more there. This is a Giants team that's trying to go back to their principles of when they were an NFL terror, talking about running the ball at a high efficiency, high effective clip. They got protection for Jackson Dart. They got a super dynamic talent on the defensive side of the ball in Arvell Reese. They gave
Yeah.
love to the cornerback room 2 different times in this draft with Colton Hood out of Tennessee, as well as Thaddeus Dixon post-draft, which is a guy
Yeah.
that I actually mocked to the Giants. I believe he would have got drafted if he didn't have the issues, with the speeding violations, things like that. They're going to want to
Yeah.
slow him down, literally slow him
That
down a
was a
little.
steal
But
for us. That was a steal.
absolutely, we got the best kicker in college.
Yeah.
Zabata. I hope I'm not murdering that guy's name. He's going to be in a fresh competition with Jason Sanders. Uh, I feel good, Idris, truly good. Tremaine Edmonds, another guy that's a
Yeah.
tweener. He could come up to the line and assist in tackling. He could also play in the secondary as a piece similar to what Isaiah Simmons. Micah McFadden's coming back. We
Yep.
got a litany of pass rushers ranging from Carter, Thibodeau. Now you got Reese. It's going to be very interesting to see how this all plays out. And we also really brought in a guy, well, multiple guys, led by
Hmm.
DJ Reader. You basically drafted one, you signed three
Yeah.
defensive tackles that are going to be in steady rotation as a committee effort to replace Dexter Lawrence.
The signing of DJ Reader, and you said that. You called that one.
You got
I
Leaky
love it.
Fotu in the building. You got Shelby Harris in the building. These are
Yes.
proven veterans of the NFL wars.
Right. And you know what's great about that is the competition in training camp. You're going to get the best
Absolutely.
from the best
Absolutely.
from the best. Um, as for OB, I'm about to call him OBD.
Idris, I'm getting a little bit of a rough feedback on your end.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
You're good. You're good. You're good.
All right. As for OBJ, not OBD, OBD, old dirty bastard. As for OBJ, let's send Hyatt out the door. We don't need him.
Bye-bye.
We put yeah. Isaiah Hitchens. I can't remember his last name. Is it Hitchens? I can't remember.
Isaiah Hodgins.
Hodgins. Put him on practice squad.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good player, good role player, but put him on the practice squad.
And you
You
got to
know,
see how the injuries go, too. You got 2 one-year deals in Darnell Mooney as
right?
well as Calvin Austin. So just it's a numbers game, as you and I both know, because most NFL teams
Hmm.
usually only keep 6 active receivers on a
Right,
week-to-week roster. So let's name them out together, Idris. We've got
right,
Malik Neighbors. That
right.
would be 1. Calvin Austin, Darnell Mooney. I just named both of them. That's 3. You got Darius
Slayton,
Slayton is 4. You got Gunnar Olszewski, who's going to make the team
yeah,
specifically because of his special teams value.
right on.
So where are we at now? That would be 5.
That's 5.
And now when you're talking 6, of course, you mentioned Jalen Hyatt. You have other Giants that have made appearances in the past. And then you have the elephant in the room, number 13 or whatever number he'll wear if he gets his
Yeah,
number back, if he comes back, Odell Beckham Jr. So,
yeah,
and you also mentioned Hodgins,
yeah.
who, yes, I do believe will either make the practice squad or maybe find another home before the new season starts.
Oh yeah, he'll be
But
all right.
it's interesting. It really is interesting to see if Odell will, quote unquote, be the 6th man.
Right. That's the thing. And I don't know if he'll be the 6th man because that means he may not see the field. You know, um, but he's the type of guy you want to put him on the field. I know he's not who he used to be, but he still has that mentality.
I have
You
him.
know.
Oh, Malachi Fields. How did I forget him?
Oh. Hey, we still got what's his name? Oh God, the guy from
Bryce
Jersey,
Ford.
the one that
I
got
know
hurt
Bryce
last.
Ford. I know Bryce
Yeah,
Ford Wheaton is still
Wheaton. That's what I'm thinking about. Yeah, Bryce Ford Wheaton.
there's gonna be some serious healthy competition. And the
Yeah,
thing is, the question is, I think it opens the door more for Odell if the Giants are willing to have 7 active receivers. And I think it's going to
yeah,
speak volumes on whether or not the Giants feel that Odell brings a value as part of a committee effort for replacing Wandell Robinson, because Odell Beckham, in my opinion, at this stage of his career and a limited snap share, is
yeah,
going to be doing some work in the slot. Where Malachi Fields is an interesting one, because when you think of slot players,
yeah.
you don't necessarily think of somebody with the speed of a Malachi Fields because he's not the fastest kid on the block. However,
Right. That
he
height.
has a propensity for, yes, and he has a propensity for getting open. Red
Six
zone
four,
trump
six
card
four.
is red zone trump card.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because Plaxico Burris,
Right.
um, his son Elijah, the cute little baby that he was holding after the Super Bowl 42 win,
Yep.
had committed to Notre Dame a while back. And it's funny that a Notre Dame guy in Malachi Fields mirrors some of Plaxico's better qualities as a football player. So We're going to find out, Idris. It's a numbers game for sure, but I still have a funny suspicion that Odell Beckham Jr. is going to find his way on this team.
Just think about Isaiah Likely at tight end and Malachi Fields on the same side of the field, dude.
Yes, indeed.
You
Isaiah
got-
Likely to the fantasy heads
yeah,
is
he's
going to
6'3".
be,
He's
yeah,
tall
he's going
too,
to be
6'3".
one of those guys that's going to have a blow up kind of fantasy year. He's shown spurts of being a nice waiver wire pickup
Yeah,
whenever Mark Andrews wasn't getting a lot of passes or just being injured because he is an older player now. Travis
right.
Kelsey has been slowing down, still a reliable guy, but not
Yeah,
putting up like the monster numbers that he did for so many years. You know, he's winding down. But
yeah,
Isaiah Likely, strong candidate to be a top five tight end in fantasy production.
yeah. I agree. And no matter what happens, if he goes on the practice squad or whatever, um, he's going to get picked up. Well, he's a good player. I mean, he's a good piece. I mean, he's not
Yeah.
going to get you 80 catches, 1,000 yards, but he's
Now
going to get you.
we're still referring to Beckham, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, he's
And
not
then
going
you
to get
got to figure out where Austin and Mooney fit into this because
right.
personally, I think Mooney is best deployed as opposite of Neighbors, and you also got to
Yeah,
figure out where Slayton fits in because it's going to be a competition. The problem with Slayton is that his contract and a recent injury, he'll be ready for the season, but his
yeah,
contract and the recent injury make it hard to move him because I think that he sometimes, how do I say this? It happens in baseball occasionally too, where you
hmm
have like a contract that you don't like, and you're
yeah,
not going to be able to dump the contract. You're going to get more bad money, but the other bad money you get in return might be something that actually makes more sense for your team, if that makes any
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
That's the
yeah. I
only way
agree.
you move Slayton. It would have to be a player for a player.
And I think with Slayton, because we both feel the same way about him, runs great routes, but he got a habit of dropping the ball. I think
Yes,
this
indeed.
year, I hope this year, he knows. I'm pretty sure he sees what's going on around him. You
Yes.
draft Malachi Fields, you got Malik Neighbors, you bring in a few more receivers. I think he's reading the room and saying, okay, my shit might not be all that good anymore. So I
Right.
think this year he'll step it up because, for one thing, the coach we had, Harbaugh's like, if you don't want to play, I'll get you out of here.
But
We've
Harbaugh's
seen that.
also been the kind of coach that like has never really worked offenses where he's totally worried about receivers' numbers. However, he's never had a talent quite
Right.
like a Malik Neighbors.
Right.
Now,
Exactly.
Jackson Dart, in certain elements of his game, does have similarities to multiple time MVP Lamar Jackson.
Yes.
And similar to what they did in Baltimore, solid running offensive line, solid passing offensive line, really good tight end. I mean, hello, it's the same tight end.
Yeah.
And, the fullback, Ricard, I mean, I couldn't be happier than a pig in mud that we are going back to the roots of great Giants football and bringing in a real fullback, a position that's damn near extinct. But when you have a good one, whether it's like a guy like a Juszczyk from the 49ers or the
yeah.
Penny brothers when they were doing it, you only have a few real legit tight ends because basically your fullbacks, your third tight end has essentially become the new age fullback now.
Right.
But when you have a real legit fullback, it is an
Yeah.
advantage and a blessing in so many ways, and they're none better in the NFL at a very minimized position than a Ricard. The Giants did great with that. Before we get out of here,
Yeah.
want to talk about our opponent for week one.
hmm
What is your outlook for these Dallas Cowboys, Idris? Because I'll tell you what, man, they got a player that a lot of Giants fans had circled, that it was a little controversial that we went to
Yeah.
the offensive line. In retrospect, I think it was the necessary, correct move because you got to keep Dart out of the blue tent. But there's going to be storylines galore with Arvell Reese and Caleb Downs being
Yeah.
the featured players on each defense coming, particularly in the media way, the way they're going to push this game.
Yeah.
Um, I imagine Caleb Downs, Malik Neighbors, Neighbors was very vocal. That's going to be an interesting thing when these two are competing. And of course, our brand new offensive tackle who goes by
Yep.
the nickname Cece.
Yep.
Like, he's going to want to put on a show and say, yo, the Giants got it right. And, Dallas, I think they
Mhm.
improved. I think
Yeah,
the Giants improved. And I'm
yeah,
comfortable saying, and I'm actually requoting Mike Zappi.
yeah,
Zappi said that he thinks the Giants are in a position where they could run this division for the next 5 years. He is happy with his Cowboy additions.
yeah.
Zappi personally feels that the Giants and the Cowboys are going to be the two teams standing at the end of the season that are fighting for this division, where the Philadelphia Eagles, while I still think they had a good draft,
Hmm.
we'll see. We shall see.
Yeah, I think, and I'm the biggest Cowboy hater on the planet. Stephen A. Smith ain't got nothing on me. Nothing on me. But I think Dallas will be good this year. I think they'll be better than last year. That Eagles coach is really not that a bad defensive coordinator. I think, of course he sucked as a coach, but I think there's a lot of factors to that. But I think you'll have the defense with Caleb Downs back there. Um, that their main problem was stopping the run, and I think they
Yes,
got
indeed.
enough to stop the run this year. But we'll
I
see.
think they did really well when you consider what they got in return in the Parsons deal. Now that
Yeah,
they're deploying it, I think the Caleb Downs pick was a great pick for them.
yeah.
Um, I like what the Dallas Cowboys, Malachi Lawrence out of UCF, the
Out of
edge rusher,
right,
that is a good pickup as well. So
right,
it's exciting because, like, from the Giants side of things, this might get overlooked because Dak didn't play the second half.
right.
But the Giants were outplaying the Cowboys mightily in the first half.
Yes,
The fact that young Jackson Dart got a win versus Dak Prescott, which is the first Giant quarterback to defeat Dak Prescott since Eli Manning, who swept
yes,
him in Dak's rookie year, a
yeah,
season where the Giants had the second best defense in the NFL, but the Cowboys won the division by being a game better than the 16 Giants.
yeah,
What's interesting is that Dak has defeated the New York Giants more frequently than any other quarterback in the history of that pristine division.
yeah,
But now you bring in young Jackson Dart. He didn't play the first game. It was Russell Wilson, who oddly enough had a career game but still lost. Um, and this is a huge statement for the Giants on the national stage to immediately open up the Harbaugh era
yes.
because in previous years, because Zappy gave me the metric, over the last 15 years, the New York
Hmm.
Giants have opened against the Dallas Cowboys 8 times,
Yeah,
which is basically every other year.
I like it.
So
I like it that we're opening with them though.
I do too. It's an immediate challenge.
Hmm.
I imagine that even though the Giants are upstart, the Cowboys will probably be favored in week one by maybe 4 or more.
Hmm.
But this is a game where you're going to find out right out of the gates the differences with this Giants team versus previous ones. And I'm not talking about if we lose a close game, we win, however it plays out. I'm talking about proving to the fan base that times are starting to change. But if you win that game week one, you cannot
Yeah,
ask for a better start when you consider that the Dak Prescott led Dallas Cowboys have tortured the New York Giants pretty much since 2017 and beyond.
yeah. Dallas, they got a good front line. You got
Yes,
Quentin
they
Williams on
do.
the left, Kenny Clark on the right,
They got
and
a
double
really
O.
good roster right now.
Yeah,
I
double
think
O in the
they
middle. Yeah,
they did
you
good
know.
with addressing what needed addressing, and that
Yeah,
running
they
back
did.
room is going to be decent. Dak Prescott has to stay healthy. He's not young anymore, but he's not a
Yeah,
dinosaur either.
right.
And it'll be interesting to see how this George Pickens things plays out. They added talent to that
Yeah,
receiving room.
they got
They got
MVS.
three. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
They also addressed it in the draft. They've got a viable receiving room. This is going to be what a primetime matchup is supposed to look like.
but guess who
You
else
know,
they got? They got the great Paris Campbell.
former Giant and Eagle legend.
Right.
I tell you what, though, that guy always finds a new employer. So,
He does,
you know,
man. I gotta give it
he's,
to him.
yeah, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Idris, I'll be tuning in for that day because it's a big day for football fans.
Yeah.
We're going to find out who we're playing in what weeks. We're going to
Yeah.
map out potentially a road trip, or maybe if we go back home and see a home game. It's
Gotta
an
do something,
exciting
man.
time, bro. It truly, truly is an
You know
exciting
something?
time.
I seen a Giant fan Friday that me and him was talking, and because you don't see many Giant fans where I am. It's mainly Cowboy fans, Panther fans, and Falcon fans. You might find an Eagle fan here or there, a Commander fan, but you don't see many Giants fans here. They hate the Giants here. Well, me and him talk, man, and he said the same thing. He said, "Man, I wish the season started this weekend, cause he's
Mhm.
so hyped. Like, I can't wait."
And I want to tell Giant fans, it's only
Yeah,
year one of this regime. Don't put your
right.
head down if we don't immediately win the games. But I'm telling you right now, on prime time, at home,
Yeah,
season opener,
yeah.
if you beat the team that has held you down in such a way, because the only Giant wins, with the exception of Week 17 last year against,
Hmm.
that was against Dak. That goes in the record as a Dak loss. But outside of that,
Yeah,
you're talking about beating all kinds of backups, from Cooper Rush
yeah,
to Andy Dalton.
yeah.
Games that Dak wasn't available to play.
Right.
Though, of course, we beat them back in a year to forget for the NFC, which was 2020. We beat them
Oh man.
behind a strong game from Wayne Gallman. That was the year Saquon tore his knee. But then the
Yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles didn't win. And, we did try to poke around a little to get a little more information from a very reliable source.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say that professionally, he said what he was supposed to.
Yeah.
And I famously remember saying to him off air, man, I was so livid. They brought in Sudfeld. I called him Sudafed.
Sunbelt. Yeah. So everybody. Yeah. We all call him Sudafed.
But you know what? That's what happens when you only win 6 games. You
Yeah.
can get screwed like that. So,
Yeah.
maybe in retrospect, it's a blessing that we didn't win the division in a year that nobody wanted to remember, the NFC East.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
This
as
season, yeah, I think
yeah,
we're. Yeah. I can't wait.
let me ask you, what do you think about this Ronda Rousey fight that's coming up pretty soon?
Oh man. I love Ronda. I love Ronda Rousey. I liked her when she was in the UFC. I was a big fan of her. I'm still a big fan of her. God, she's been out of the game a long time, man.
Yeah.
And I know she's been wrestling and all, but when you're not doing your craft, man,
Yeah.
I hope she wins because she pretty much pretty much gave she pretty much brought in people to watch women's UFC. She was the headliner. It
Hmm.
was good. It was a very good sport without her, before her, but it really blew up when she stepped in the ring. So I think women's UFC is like large. I love women's UFC. I think she's gonna fill her seats more, and if she's victorious, I think she's gonna bring more. I hope she does well. I'm
Well,
a fan of her.
similarly to like a guy like a Conor McGregor,
Yeah,
she puts asses in seats.
yeah. I hope she wins, man. Because I am a fan of Ronda Rousey. I really am. I've always been. I really wanted her to fight Floyd in the octagon.
Hmm.
Because I want to see how he would match up against somebody. I mean, I know she's a woman, but God,
Right,
she's
right.
she's good at wrestling.
I'll
I
tell
mean,
you
she's good.
what,
She's
I
good.
wouldn't
Yeah.
want to. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to grapple with her.
Hell no. I don't care how small she is. I ain't messing with no Ronda Rousey.
Oh
Hell
hell no!
no.
And I saw her in WWE, and
Yeah, she's
shouts out
tough.
to the women's roster, the women's evolution in WWE. They've come such a long way. But I'll tell you what, it takes a lot of bravery to be just a wrestler. Know that you get in the ring with somebody like a Ronda Rousey, and know that if she gets pissed off, she could really hurt you.
She's tough, man. She's
Yeah,
tough.
man. Yeah, but it was
Yeah.
hard for me to see her lose ever in WWE, because I know it's scripted, obviously. And shouts
Yeah.
out to the wrestlers that they got my respect. But what I'm saying is, like, it was hard for me to see her lose, because I would say in a real fight, I think few would be able to hang with her. And
Yeah.
maybe Snuka's daughter, I think her name was Tamia.
Come here. Yeah.
Maybe a Rhea Ripley, but few and far between that I think could actually mess with her in a real fight.
Yeah.
Nia Jax, who knows? That's a big
Yeah.
girl, and she's got
That's
good stock.
that's a big girl, dude.
Being part of the Samoan
Yeah,
wrestling royalty, Samoan and black wrestling
yeah.
royalty.
And you can hit them
They
hard as you want to hit them. They don't go down.
nah, same thing with Tamia.
Yeah,
Tamia,
yeah.
the daughter of Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Superfly.
So
Yeah.
yeah, these women are tough. I want to make that very clear. These women are
Very
tough, and,
tough.
and the women's evolution has gotten to a point where you can trust that circuit of wrestlers
Yeah.
to main event your company's big nights now, and people like the late great Sherry Martel, the late great fabulous Moolah,
I love me the
Wendy
great
Wendy Richter,
moolah.
Wendy Richter's still alive. These
Yeah.
women got to be proud of the evolution of where they put their feet in the dirt for that part of professional wrestling. Before we get out of here, I came across a story that definitely warmed my heart and something that I didn't know about Anthony Edwards. And then I'll give you my quick picks on the NBA tonight.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards came to become friends with a young man named Luca, who,
Yeah.
shouts out to Luca, is a recent cancer survivor. I know Ant-Man is a big troll, and I know Ant-Man has his ways that rub people the wrong way. But the
Yeah.
way that I measure a man uh,
Hmm.
is the way that they treat young, impressionable fans, especially young, impressionable fans that
Yeah.
might be fighting something so scary like cancer, where it
Yeah.
brings your parents to your knees. It's a parent's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And you being a recent cancer survivor, I know that something like that obviously would hit home with you as well. But
Hmm.
I just wanted to say, bro, and I'm not ashamed to admit it, I was
Yeah.
cutting onions watching that.
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards wears a orange wristband, and
Yep.
young Luca wants to be able to be in a position to help other children who have cancer at young ages. So shouts out to you, young Luca. You're a hero
Yes,
already.
sir. Yes, sir.
And shouts out to Ant-Man for being in touch with the people who matter the most. The kids are the ones who are going to drive the fandom into the next generation. And I
Yes.
got news for you. After seeing this, I must admit, and after seeing that immature Wemby elbow the other day,
Oh,
I'm
that
rooting
was.
for the Minnesota
Oh,
Timberwolves to win that series now.
you know what? Me too. I had. We both had San Antonio. I had. I had Minnesota winning the first game and pushing it to 7 games. But the
Right.
same here. I'm going with what Wemby did. I did not expect that from him. That
I
was
mean,
probably
it's a show of immaturity. I don't think Wemby's
yeah.
a bad kid, but he let
No,
his
no,
emotions
no,
get the
no,
best of
no,
him. But what I
no.
didn't go for, I understand what he was trying to do, motivate his team, being like, yo, y'all got to win regardless. You got this. But that's not a time to start doing high fives.
No.
Take your ass to the locker room. And if I'm the coach of the Spurs, I am heated over that.
And you know what? It just popped up on my thing, which I think is pretty messed up. Um, they're not going to suspend him. They're not going to fine him. They're not going to do nothing.
I I could understand a non-suspension, but I am a little taken back that they're not going to fine him. I guess there's
Yeah, that's
different
what I'm saying.
strokes for different folks depending on where you lie on the radar. But I will say this: if they would have suspended him, this would have opened up a
Oh,
can of worms because they chose not to suspend Joker.
yeah, I think they should have fined him. You don't let him get away. That was dude. That was some shit that Ron Artest would do, Draymond would do,
Yeah.
and they would get suspended. Not, I mean, they would get okay. Don't suspend him, but they would get fined. You have to fine him. That was just a
The
blatant
only
elbow.
reason why I'm in favor of not suspending him because he doesn't have a negative reputation that
Yeah,
precedes him,
I agree. I
like
agree.
say a LaMelo Ball or
Yeah,
a Draymond Green. But hopefully
I
the young
agree.
man learns from it because Wemby, you really hurt your team.
You did.
You
You did. You had a
really,
chance to go
really
up.
hurt your team.
You had a chance to
And
go up.
now it's a 3-game series, and these
Yeah.
Timberwolves have proven that they got heart. And unbeknownst to me, back to the wristband that Anthony Edwards wears for young
Hmm.
Luca,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that in the heat of battle, LeBron James accidentally broke the wristband. Now, Ant obviously keeps a ton of them on deck. He promised this young man he's going to wear that wristband for the rest of his professional career.
Yeah.
But I was laughing in the comments when I watched this very emotional video because they were saying that the Minnesota fans are ready to like just jump on LeBron. Like,
Right.
but it just goes to show the power of sports and how, something as serious as cancer versus something as non-serious in the greater life scheme of sports, but how it
Yeah.
intertwines and how, a beautiful friendship is born, but more important than that, brings awareness and helps more kids in the future. So Ant-Man, shouts out to you, bro. Job well
Oh
done.
yeah. Oh yeah. No doubt.
Much
No doubt.
respect. I want to get into the picks for tonight before we get out of here. I'll start with the West Coast game. Oklahoma City Thunder closing in on a sweep, similarly to what our New York Knicks did yesterday. Idris, I don't see anything stopping them tonight.
No.
I'm going OKC 124, Los Angeles Lakers 110. 14-point victory for the road team.
Yeah. I was gonna say LA might get one, but the way it's looking, nah, they're not even. It's the games are not really that close,
No,
you know. And it just goes to show, yes, LeBron's a great player, but it also shows he's not that guy anymore, and
no,
he
he's
needs
not.
a superstar behind him.
No, he's
And
not.
that's how it's always been. And a lot of
Mhm.
LeBron haters gonna be like, oh, I'm not haters. No, are you just hating? No, this just goes to show, and this has always been his career. If you
Yes.
put him on the court by himself and he has to do it, he can't do it. He needs a
Mhm.
star, or two, or three, or four. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna say the Lakers gonna get one tonight. I think they'll get one. Um, but if they don't, I mean that's good for me because I got a meme ready to put up.
And
But
speaking of adult Luca, we just spoke about a young man named Luca. Luca's nowhere to be seen, and that's the other
nah,
part of this.
nah,
Laker fans were hopeful that he would have been back by game 3, maybe
yeah,
tonight, but they're down 3 games, and the record right now of teams down 3 games in the NBA playoffs is a staggering 0 and
yeah,
162. It will happen one day.
yeah,
The Boston Celtics came back to force a game 7 a few years back against the Miami Heat. They ultimately lost game 7 after being down 3-0.
yeah,
And you got to take it all the way back to 1994. The Cinderella Denver Nuggets, who defeated the Seattle Supersonics, who had the NBA's best record in '94. Back in that era, the first round was only 5 games. And the
yeah,
iconic picture of the late, great Mount Mutombo, Dikembe Mutombo, rest in peace, sir. You are sorely, sorely missed from your humor to
yeah.
your
Oh yeah,
humanitarian nature to just being an awesome human and a funny man. But
yeah,
seeing that iconic picture of Mutombo on the ground squeezing the basketball, pure joy.
yeah,
And
yeah,
they were down 3-0 in round 2. First they were down 2-0 to the Sonics, win 3 in a row. Then they
yeah,
were down 3-0 to the Utah Jazz, this is Stockton
yeah,
and Malone era,
yeah.
only to come back and force a game 7 as an 8
Right.
seed. So it will happen eventually,
It'll
but the
happen eventually.
numbers are just staggering. 162 times the team down 0-3 did not come back. It has never happened. It happened in baseball once. I don't
Right.
want to talk about that,
Yeah, I
but
didn't watch. I didn't watch the rest of that either.
yeah, it's happened in hockey. It's happened in hockey, but yeah, it is super rare, and it has not happened in the NBA yet.
And
All
see,
right,
that's
East
why.
Coast game. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's why I knew Philly wasn't going to win. Because Philly was on 15 when down, down 2 games. Those were the first 2 games. So I knew Philly wasn't going to win. Go ahead. I was taking my shot at Philly.
I like it. Anytime you have a chance, you keep punching. Boxers punch.
That's right.
And Idris, what's the last thing to go for a boxer? What's the last thing to
The
go for a former
power.
boxer?
The
The
power.
power. That's right.
Sorry, Philly. But
No, you good.
y'all were talking too much.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. The East Coast game, this is the one that's going to be more important, so I figure we finish on a strong note.
Yeah.
You got a Cleveland Cavalier team looking to square up the series against the one-seeded Detroit Pistons. I think when you're down in a series, the hardest game to win is the first one.
Yeah.
Cleveland obviously achieved that. Charles Barkley made a really good point. A
Uh-huh.
really, really good point. He said he could see Cleveland coming back and at least making this a 7-game series for the sheer fact that Detroit, as good as they could be, and I have the world of respect for Cade Cunningham, they struggle consistently with offense.
Yeah, he set a
That's
record for turnovers so far. 50 turnovers in the playoffs already.
Yes, indeed. And, Charles Barkley also mentioned that he believes the Knicks are going to beat whoever wins.
Yeah,
However, he thinks that Cleveland presents more problems. And then he started with they have two superstars in Mitchell and Harden. And then Shaq shut that shit down and said, maybe Mitchell. I don't know about Harden. And he talked about
yeah,
how James Harden has been small in some
yeah.
of the bigger games. But who do you have tonight, Idris? This is going to be a good basketball game.
Whew. Dang. It's all James Harden, man. He showed up that last game. If he shows up, Cleveland. If he goes back to being the James Harden we know in the playoff, Detroit. But I'm gonna go Detroit, man. I think they're gonna I think they'll do it. I hope Cleveland wins because that gives the Knicks more time to rest OG. Um, so I'm rooting for Cleveland to win, but I think I'm gonna go with Detroit, man. I think they're gonna. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Detroit, man. I think it's gonna be close. I'm gonna go 107, 103. I think it's gonna come down to James Harden, man. I just don't see him putting together 2 games in a row where he's doing it because he's never done it. So
I'm
I
going
don't.
to call for a off game from Cade Cunningham tonight, and that's going to be the catalyst of what allows Cleveland to even up the series at 2. I
I
have a
hope so.
similar score to you, though, but
Mhm.
give me overtime today. Give me overtime,
It's
and
gonna
it's
be
going to be a
overtime.
low-scoring overtime score. Maybe let me think about this.
No, it's
I'm
gonna be
going to
overtime. So every
go.
time you say overtime, it's overtime.
Yeah, let's put that into the universe. Give me the home team today, evening up the series. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers in overtime by a score of 116 to 112.
My closing.
116 to
Yeah.
112. And why not? Let's have fun with it. A bearded gentleman is going to hit a big shot that ties this series. But
I
remember,
hope.
ladies and gents, it's only game 4.
I hope so. As for my closing, um, yeah, I hope so. But ladies, this is what I wanted to say before I close my part. Ladies and gentlemen, Richie's probably like 98-1 when it comes to saying overtime games. So you might, if you're betting in Vegas, vote for pick overtime because Richie's.
Not as devastating as the 0 and 162 for teams down 0-3, but it's pretty efficient.
Ladies, gentlemen, he's about 98-1. I can guarantee that. Because whenever
Six
you
more
say overtime, it's
six more
always
dials.
overtime.
5 more. Well, we got 6 more dials and we got Kiss FM. Let's go.
Right. Every time you say
That's the
overtime,
juice
dude.
era right there.
Right. With football, when you say overtime, it's always overtime. It's gonna be overtime tonight, y'all.
One final thought.
Yeah.
Um, Taking on a new endeavor or two currently, but this is my baby. This is Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. This ain't going nowhere. But I do
Right.
want to bring attention to the fact that if you love your baseball, check out, especially if you love your New York Yankees,
Yes,
check
sir.
out Yankees Daily. Over 100,000 members, a great place
Woo.
to talk during the games, after the games, every time of the day. For your New York Yankees fix, check out Talk of New York on Facebook. You'll see the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast dropping there. I myself am going to be joining a team of people to bring a little bit of everything New York, whether it's culture, whether it's the Knicks, whether it's the Yankees. It's called The Talk of New York. Check it out on Facebook. Announcements to
Word.
come for the inaugural show, but right now I am contributing there as I can,
Word.
dropping dropping stuff on the Knicks, Yankees, and of course what we do here at the Richie Hicks Jr. Sports Podcast. Check out Big Bosco Productions, my
Hey.
co-host, Mr.
Say
Idris
that.
Salam, Old Man Energies, Volume 1, Volume 2. You got a jazz album, and you have a great tour of the best era of hip-hop. We're talking about the boom bap era of hip-hop.
Boom, 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 bap. Yep.
And also make it a point. to check out the dirtiest rap album ever made. You can find that on Bandcamp, BAND camp.com. Support local artists, support aspiring artists,
Thank you. Thank you.
because you have no idea where the little bit of a share can go such a long way. And let me tell you something. When it comes to music, not just hip hop, when it comes to music, that is my co-host, Idris Salam, aka Bosco from the Bronx. Check out our friends at the Casual Convo Show every Monday and Wednesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. You can see the beautiful Miss Coco, her girl Jude, as well as Mr. Paul and Q. Make it a point to check out the Casual Convo Show. Sneaky G, great show. Check him out on the Make It Count podcast if you love the New York Football Giants. He is a strong and tall, proud New York Giants fan in the state of Texas. And last but not least, make it a point to check out our good friend and one of the good Philly fans, Mr.
Yes.
Nash, the Basement Show, Johnny Nash. Check out all his many endeavors. He, Joe Gal, and his people. Johnny's a great guy.
Oh
That's
yeah.
the
Oh
shout
yeah.
outs. That's the shout outs.
Oh yeah. New York, baby. That's
Yeah,
all I got to say.
beautiful. It's beautiful. This is different, Idris. That's all I'm going to say. But the next round brings a new challenge, and you got to put
Yeah.
it away. But it's good to see our boys getting some rest. If you haven't made it a point, please like and subscribe to the channel. Like and subscribe to the channel, the Richie Hicks
Yes,
Jr.
sir.
Sports Podcast on YouTube. Announcements to come for our next show. Knicks in the building. Yankees get it together. NFL schedule release around the corner. You're going to be seeing leaks galore. Some of them are going to be true. Some of them are not. It is true that the New York Football Giants and the Dallas Cowboys are on a collision course. Week 1,
Mhm.
9/11 weekend, right after the Yankees and Mets get their thing going, the Giants and the Cowboys get their thing going. New York is calling me. I think I'm going to have to be out there for that weekend. We'll see how it plays out. We out.
Peace.